So the bronze medal final is just around the corner. Fiji versus New Zealand, the equivalent of what could have been the Dubai Sevens final, but these two sides playing for the bronze in what should be an absolutely awesome game. And in this preview, we will be looking through at the previous fixtures, the key players to watch out for, and a prediction at the end of who we think will be walking away with the victory. But we will start with Fiji. They have played the 5 matches thus far in the Dubai Sevens. They were a part of Pool C. They were able to beat USA in their first contest, 21 points to 14. They then defeated France, 40 points to 5. But then they did suffer that loss to Great Britain, 24 points to 0. Now, the reason I have a little bit more emphasis on that game is it was the third match of the day, which is actually what this game up against New Zealand is going to be. It is hot in Dubai. The heat hits you hard, and maybe Fiji might play a little bit slower in this next game up against New Zealand. Their quarterfinal, they were successful over the Irish, 29 points to 24. They had a 29-0 lead in that game though, then conceding the 24 points in the second half. And then they had their semi-final up against South Africa. They were defeated, 14 points to 7. I'll be honest, they got pretty unlucky in that game. They could have won it. They just didn't quite get it right at the times that it mattered most. Couple penalties here and there made it very tricky for them to get themselves the victory. Then for New Zealand, they had their first game up against the Canadians. They were a part of Pool A, winning that one 26 points to 21, so a relatively close game in that regard. Their next game up against the Samoans, it was even closer, 14 points to 12, scoring in the last moment of that game, getting the conversion over, winning it by just those 2 points. Their next game, they were defeated by South Africa by the 2 points, 21 points to 19. So both of these sides actually have a very similar trend. They won their first 2 games, they lost the third, they won their fourth, and then they lost the fifth in the semi-finals. The quarterfinals for New Zealand, dominant performance, 40 points to 0 over the USA. And then the last game that they had, it was 21 points to 19. They were defeated by Argentina. New Zealand, they theoretically didn't miss any conversions, but they got timed out for one. Julio Rocalisoa taking too long to take his conversion, 30 seconds he waited, didn't think to go early, and because of it they lost by the 2 points, and it ended up costing them the chance going to golden point. But now we are up to that stage of key players for these two sides. For the Fijians, every preview we've done, we've said this man's name, Torio Valawa. He is still right up there in terms of the best Fijian players that we have seen throughout the Dubai Sevens, so I will go with him here. Also alongside him, we saw quite a bit of Mothino Thangi in that last game. He was doing quite well, getting a few offloads away alongside Jeremiah Matana. So perhaps it's the big men that have more of an impact here up against New Zealand in this bronze medal final for New Zealand. I am going to go with Scott Curry. He has had a sensational tournament so far, so hopefully can back that up in this third place playoff game. Alongside him, I think it's going to be the likes of Moses Leo as well as Narohi Makavi Black, the other 2 players I'm watching out for New Zealand, mainly because Moses Leo's pace down the wing I think could be massive. Leroy Carter, also another name I'm going to add to that list for that same reason of using his speed to his advantage. And then Narohi Makavi Black, a little bit more of a playmaker on the inside, trying to create chances for New Zealand. But now we're up to that stage of a prediction. Now, I initially predicted that this would be the final. That didn't happen, but they do still find themselves playing off in a playoff contest. And I am going to say that the result will still be the same. I think Fiji will get themselves the win. New Zealand losing to Argentina, I think, will hurt them a bit mentally, mainly because they had the chance to win that game, but they weren't able to take that opportunity. So I'm going to say New Zealand lose this game. Fiji get themselves the victory, 19 points to 12. It's a pretty common scoreline that I have predicted. Haven't quite got one right yet, but perhaps this is the game that we do end up getting right. But I do thank you all very much for tuning into this preview. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. The game kicking off at 3:40 AM New Zealand time. We are going to be doing the live commentary on the channel, so be sure to check that out. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.